Hello and welcome to another Endurance Hub video. So we're going to be looking at a product called Squirt Lube. It's a wax-based chain lube. It's pretty good. So basically, let's get into it. It's not a paid placement, completely unbiased. Just walking around the garden and it is raining, which isn't great. I was hoping to go out for a ride later, but there we go. Also, do take a look at the written blog post, which I will link down in the description below. That will give you a lot more sort of detail on my thoughts and everything like that. It's designed to be completely separate from the video, so it will give you a bit of a better overview of the lube and what I've sort of thought from doing the rides. So you can watch, just because you watch the video doesn't mean that everything will be repeated in there and vice versa. So apart from me being an absolute baby and coming in from the rain outside, the main reason why I've chosen to review this product is because it solves a big issue. Well, it should do. A big issue for me. So I was previously using a muck-off dry lube, and there will be a picture of it up there somewhere, because I don't have the bottle to hand. And that does well. You know, it lubricates the chain, it keeps things nice and quiet. But after 1-2 rides max in the dry, getting a lot of pickup on the chain, so a lot of that sort of black grinding type paste that I'm sure we're all familiar with, that really annoys me, especially because I can just see it sort of going to grind away at my components and cost me a lot of cash. Especially annoyed me when I was away recently in the Lake District, trying to do sort of a week of sort of rides and runs and things like that, to do some training, because my bike just always looked dirty, always looked like it was going to have some problems. And towards the end of the week, it was really quite thick on there, to be honest. And I don't particularly like cleaning my bike. I'd much prefer being out riding it, and I do keep it clean and everything like that. But the degreasing that off every time after 1 or 2 rides is just really not what I wanted. So I decided to have a bit of a research, and on a lot of sort of the forums that I'm in on Facebook, Squirt Lube comes absolutely highly recommended. So I thought it was time to give it a go, really. So it should really solve our problems. It's wax based. It's a wax based emulsion, so there's no sort of hot dipping of the wax, which was another thing that I haven't got all the stuff to do, and it's just going to take a lot of time. So I'm sure that's great for all you guys out there that do that. So I decided to go with this because hopefully going to keep things a lot cleaner and hopefully going to help prolong the life of my components, basically. So we're going to give this a go. So it's going to be a full bike clean, because it's just been up with me in the lakes for a couple of weeks, well, for a week. So we've done quite a few rides up there. So it's going to be a full bike clean and then application as suggested with the Squirt Lube. So the application says, remove factory grease and other lubricants completely. So that's going to be with my degreasing process. I haven't got an ultrasonic cleaner, otherwise I probably would do that just to make sure that we are completely clean. And then shake the bottle, apply to inside of dry chain while turning the cranks, do not wipe off, allow chain to dry completely before cycling, especially in wet conditions. And what they do say for the first for application is then repeat that in 5 minutes. So we're going to give that a go, see how we get on with that. So I'm going to be putting that on my Dolan E-Tap bike, and seeing how we go from there. So next follows a little montage of cleaning and applying, and then we'll get to my thoughts after a few rides. So here are just a few shots of that grinding paste that you can see on the drivetrain there. So you can see, if the camera actually focuses, we can see that black thick black sort of paste on there. You can even see some little flecks of surface rust on the chain, even though it hasn't particularly been protected. But you can see just that it's thick. It's, that's going to grind away at our components and basically not really give us a great drivetrain life. So let's get that off and let's get cracking. So nice clean bike now with nice shiny drivetrain. Probably not the best job anyone's ever done, but it was nice quick job done all over the bike as well. It's looking pretty good. And then we will now dry this, it's a nice day here, so we'll wait for it to dry and then we will get onto the application. So I've just done the application, basically just held the bottle there, turn the cranks. So as you can see now the white sitting on top of the chain. So we have to leave this for 5 minutes to then soak in. Now it should be good. It's quite viscous, so it has really sat on top, and as you can see it's dripping off. I might have applied a little bit too much. I just did a couple of rotations of the chain through and applied it. So I've come back after 5 minutes here, and it looks pretty much the same, a bit over 5 minutes actually. But we're going to do its reapplication now, and then we'll show you after. So I did its reapplication. As you can see, I did a little bit less this time, but still we've got a lot dripping off there still. So let's just see how it goes. Hopefully this will settle in. I have to let it completely dry before we ride, which is a good job because I'm not going out on my bike today. So we should be able to let this completely dry and see how this goes over the next few days. So we applied the lube, it dried overnight, and then went out for a 60-kilometre ride with my cycling club. It was 65 by the time I got home, and it was fairly mucky. It rained last night, so you can see on the frame there all the dust. The drivetrain though, pretty clean. If I rub my fingers on that, that's pretty clean. So very, very happy with that. Usually, if I'd been riding in these conditions with a previous muck-off dry lube, we would have got a lot of pickup on the chain. I mean, it's not clean, but that's a chain for you really. So I'm going to do as Squirt recommends. We're going to do a quick wipe down of this with some, I'm just going to use a cloth, and then a reapplication of the lube. Because I'm hopefully going to head out tomorrow as well. So all in all, very, very happy with it. It was tested today, I would say, in terms of the level of sort of contamination there. It wasn't. We did go through a couple of wet patches, but it wasn't a wet ride. But there's no real pickup. It was dirty. You can see the dirt stuck to the mat frame there, all around the brake caliper. So I'm pretty happy with that really. So we've had the Squirt lube on the bike now for the last few months really. It's worked really, really well. I've really liked the fact that my drivetrain can be clean in between rides. You can just wipe it off. Squirt do recommend if your drivetrain is looking a little bit dirty, you just brush it off. But I've found just sort of wiping it is fine. It's not really been massively tested in the wet yet, and I think that is one of the downfalls that people have said online, that it doesn't last particularly great in the wet. But I haven't found any sort of problems with pickup. It's been very, very dry here, so that is usually when you get a lot of pickup on anything that is slightly tacky on the chain and everything like that. Haven't had any of that at all. it's worked really, really well. I would say I'm not 100% with how to clean it off yet. So when I'm sort of doing a full sort of bike clean, that's where I'm still a little bit, how do I actually clean my chain? Maybe I just shouldn't. So pop down in the comments below if you've got any tips for that. I tend to just sort of hot water and give it a good sort of clean with a brush. And that seems to work okay. But I'm just not sure if there is an actual way of doing it, because it doesn't really give you any indications on that. It's a lot noisier, the drivetrain, than with a normal sort of drip-based lubricants like the Muc-Off lubricant or any of the others like that. They tend to really quieten the drivetrain down a lot. You do tend to get a little bit more noise with this, but I would say that it's a different noise. It isn't like that dry chain going through everything sort of noise. All in all, I really, really like it. It's definitely prolonging the life of things and definitely helping keep things a lot cleaner in between rides so that I can just enjoy the riding in these conditions. So that's a wrap up for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe. I know it's the old cliche on YouTube, but it does really, really help, and it helps get these videos out there. So hope you enjoy this, and let me know in the comments below what you think.